Yeah. I mean,
All right. We're live, so it's too late.
okay.
So, hey everyone. We're just gonna cut right to the chase. I got a type by Attitudinal Psych.
Psyche.
Sadat, Psyche, whatever. Like, Sadat is here with me to live react. So real quick, we were just mentioning our final guesses before we open the email up. I'm gonna keep it simple and go with VELF, and then Sadat, what was yours again?
VEFL.
Nice. All right. And then if you don't know what it is,
Come
yeah, go ahead
on!
and Google it.
I don't care anymore. Just
Damn! Yeah. Yeah. Plot twist. All right, let me see.
4E. No, wait.
Yeah.
You
All
are
right.
my duel.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh. That's cool.
What did he write? Wait.
So hold on, let me read this first. The fire starter bars. Okay. VFLE is the attitudinal psyche type that seems the most interested in getting what they desire and exceeding theoretical limits no matter what must be sacrificed. Yeah. The VFLE appears to be protecting themselves from naysayers by forcefully implementing their own ideas and desires through hard work, determination, and continuous examination of the environment. They may come off as fiery, opinionated, forceful, determined, on the go, leader like, incessant, dismissive, and at times childlike, given their lack of incentive to stop doing what they've already decided to do. The VFLE seems to want control over their identity through instantly focusing on how they can break limitation, overcome incapability, or resist mediocrity regardless of the nonstop effort it may require. And we got two audios.
Didn't consider.
We did consider it, but then we dismissed it.
Oh. But we were so sure of 2E.
Process E. We're sure of process E.
No, we were not sure of process E. We were sure of 2E.
Okay, same shit. Okay.
But no, it's not the same shit. We didn't consider 3E. At least I didn't. Like, wait.
Okay. Do you want me to play the audio or no?
We said that in the oh my god. In the video we said that there were process F, even though we thought you were 4F.
Yeah.
But okay. Positive F, 2F.
Yeah. I'm a sexy boy. All right.
That's what that means, okay?
We're going to play the audio. You want to hear the audio, right?
Yes.
All right.
Well, hello, Reggie. Thank you for sending in your video. And thank you, Sadat, for reading the questions. I don't know if you'll send this to her. I'm assuming you will. But yeah, I've been watching this video on and off for a couple weeks now. And your type is pretty obvious. It was at first, but I wanted to give it time. I like to do that to make sure that it is actually correct and watch your video a couple more times. So that's why I take the full month to analyze videos. I don't like to give people their answer too early because, you know, I do change my mind and sometimes I am wrong. So that's why we are here, and it's been about 4 weeks. So yeah, I do think I do have your type nailed down, and I have a lot of good reasoning for it. So we'll kind of jump right into that. So as you know, AP is about your attitude. It's about your response to the 4 aspects of reality, V, F, L, and E. And I basically have 12 questions. The first 12 questions are about each of the aspects. So what I do is I look and see how you are perceiving the question, first of all, to make sure that you're in that actual aspect. And then I look at your reaction, your body language, what you're doing with your energy, how you're responding, whether it's positive or negative in valence. And then I apply that to the aspects, and that's where your type comes from. And then I also ask you multiple questions about the same aspect to make sure that you're going to keep doing it continuously and that you are actually that type. So I'm also comparing you against yourself and your own reactions. So that's kind of how I type people for the first 12 questions. The last 8 questions are more about your personality and how you see yourself, and to see kind of your overall archetype also your subtypes, but you didn't order that. That's okay. Just to make sure that
Please.
everything fits and that you are actually that type. So, yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, we'll just dive right in. So question 1 is about volition, and it was very, very obvious from your reaction to the question that you are, in fact, 1V. You believe in yourself. You believe in your decisions. You believe in kind of your identity and who you want to be. You make the decision. You say it with your chest. It's very self-positive. And you also don't let other people make those decisions for you unless you are the one that has decided they're allowed to do that. So it is very others negative as well. Results oriented. You talk about what you do in your life, where you're going, how you get what you get, and why it's meant for you and only you. Very 1V. And then second question is when we get into logic. Now, some people can take this question because it's about language. They can take it to mean emotions. So a lot of times I will look at what somebody says in response to make sure that they are actually talking about logic. And if they're not, then I consider it an emotions question. But you did perceive it as a logic question. You focused on actual language and the structure and logical structure of language, which I appreciated. So you stayed in logic. And I really got to see that there was self-negativity happen and some questions about logic and how you handle logic and how you handle language. And also some what would we call it, some speculative nature about how other people deal with logic, and also your willingness to say other people, they screw up with grammar, they make very obvious grammar spelling mistakes, and you notice it and it annoys you. So there was some others negative reaction happening. So it did seem like you were 3L. So I was right away, the very first time I watched you, I was right on 1V and 3L after the first 2 questions. That was my impression. So I kept that in mind for the other questions I ask about V and L, just to make sure that it stuck. And it did every other time that I watched it after that. So I knew that that was your type. Now, as you know, at the end, I think you say you think you're a VELF, VELF. So the question here is between 2E and 2F, and 4E and 4F. And that did happen to be the 2 types that I had down for you after the first few questions, and I'll get into why I actually gave you VFLE instead of VELF. So question 3 is about physics, and this is where my initial impression of you being VELF started to crack, because there is something about you that's energetically open, interested, and also self-confident about the physical world. Not only in the energy that you bring, but also in what you say about physics. So you were very aware of your comforts. You actually started naming ways in which you stay comfortable in the physical realm immediately. There was no stop. There was no questioning. There was no wondering. You kind of just named it out and we're like, okay, now what about this? Like, let's talk about it. You also were just sharing your journey with physics and how, there was a point where I was bad at dealing with my environment, but I've updated it a lot and I've improved a lot on it. You're sharing some sort of journey about your physical environment. Doing that unscripted, really. The question doesn't even ask like about your journey, but you did bring in the element of time into it, which is volition. But it seems like your VF is blocked together in the first and second space, and that you are actually open, willing to talk about, and very energetic, like we see these typical VFLEs. I've typed a lot of VELFs. That's my most common type. They love typology. They always bring their typing videos to me, so I know that type pretty well. There is something that's totally different about how you react to the physics question in comparison to them, and I do think this means that you are a 2F instead of a 2E. And you said you would take advice from others on comfort, which both 2Fs and 4Fs say that. So, also you were aware of what your community is doing regarding the physical space, and you brought that up as well. So there is like this commerce vibe when talking about physics that you don't really say as much when emotions is brought up, which is what I get from VELFs. So that's why VFLE is kind of the immediate reaction after the first few questions that I had. Now, question 4 is about emotions, and it was super funny because you're like, I don't handle my feelings well, but I know there.
Oh shit.
But
Hold on.
like,
Yeah.
what did you bring up? Like my community. What did you say there?
I don't fucking know.
I don't fucking know.
I think so okay, so this is a question about I think it was like how do you stay comfortable like with, and I was talking about temperature and I was talking about like stuff like that. I think that
I remember the temperature. Like you mentioned specific number. I was like, wow,
yeah.
that's oddly specific.
Yeah. I think that we can watch the video again now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't remember
you
you mentioning other people. But okay, let's go.
All right.
Now we will get 4E.
I'm gonna have to tack this on. But anyway, you were saying you know your feelings are there, you know something's happening, but you don't really know what to do about feeling bad. And then you kind of would give us your strategy of how to deal with the emotions. It's almost like you're trying to put your emotions somewhere. You're trying to do something with them, and you're not quite sure if it's working, or you know that it isn't working. So there's this focus on the results that can come from emotions. So I found that to be very fascinating, and I think that is more points towards 4E. You also said emotions are already built into a song, and that's why you kind of can listen to songs and let them wash over you. To me, that is extremely 4E rather than 2E, because it is like this thing already is that thing. I don't have to process it. I don't have to go through figuring it out. The process doesn't seem to interest you. In fact, the result seems to interest you more, which I think is more 4E than 2E. And you're just kind of blasé and whatever about emotions, despite willing to listen to them and maybe discuss how other people deal with them or whatever. When it comes to your own, you're kind of like, yeah, whatever. And that's very 4E in energy. So quite different. Question 5 through 8 just kind of validates your typing. And I'll kind of go through those a little bit. Question 5 is a V question. You had very quick answers and opinions on authority and how it works. You're very aware of when and how you need to be guided, and you have control over it. And then if you're new to something, you just ask what's going on. You're like, let's get our hands dirty. Let's get into it. You just got to figure out how it works. It's very up by your bootstraps TRIA energy, which is VFLE. And yeah, it made total sense to me that you were VFLE. Number 6 is about logic. And again, you're very 3L. And it was funny because you kind of went into telling us about how sales work and how to do it. And like, if it aligns with your own skill set, and you're telling us how it works, super VFLE. You're great at being skeptical towards other people's logic. Even Sadet disagreed, and you know, you were willing to go there with her. You were like, okay, tell me, why do you disagree? And then you figured it out. You processed through the logic. You were very open to the processing of logic, which was interesting. Number 7 is again an F question. This did show us more of your 2F. You're very aware of how Sadet thinks about your physics, about your own physics. So there was some sort of strange 2F happening here, where there was almost in your own language. You were saying something without saying it. You were referring to something that Sadet knows about you that we don't, or that I don't as the audience. And it was very interesting. That felt like it was process-oriented physics and also results-oriented emotions. I could see the 4E1.
Sorry, I know exactly what he's talking about. This is the question where he was asking, what do you find attractive? Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's like, Sada, you know the way I want to answer this, but I'm not going to answer it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
1E dynamic happening, because I've typed Sadet before she's a 1E. You're just aware of her emotions and almost valuing hers more than your own. So I like to see the dynamic between you two happening, because it gave me more clues about your type, and it really validated that you are in fact VFLE. And yeah, you take your opinions on F seriously. I mean, you also take other people's opinions seriously, but it seems like you're aware of your own. So that was fascinating to me. Number 8 was an E question, and immediately you were like, I'm aware of my own judgmentalness. judginess against others. And you said it with your chest. So you immediately talked about 1V instead of emotions there, which was funny. And then you say you judge yourself openly and you're okay with that. Very 1V. You said you could also improve about judging people's height, for instance, or something F related. To me, that showed process F. You like completely just dodged the emotions in this question altogether, which was super funny. So I think, yeah, VFLE, this just proved even more that you're VFLE. And you said you wish you had better perception about people. So it's almost an awareness that you do have 4E and that you don't believe you are very skilled in emotions, but you would like to be. You wish you had better perception on it. So there is this awareness of improving that trias often have, especially VFLEs. So yeah, that concludes about my 10 minutes. So I hope this serves you well. You know, after watching your video about 5 times, I would say I'm very confident in you being VFLE. You remind me of many other VFLEs that I've typed over the years. So it is a little bit more of an uncommon type. I have a client that's a VFLE who I meet with constantly, so I kind of understand how this works. And I've typed about 3 other VFLEs in the past few years. So you guys do pop in and out here and there, but a lot of VFLEs are busy in their lives. They're doing things, getting things done. They're very energetic people because they have V and F up front. They're always moving around and doing things, and you know, less of a focus on philosophizing like we would see VELF. VELFs tend to philosophize more. They're more getting into people's emotional worlds and their own, and then they want to talk about it and share it constantly. There isn't really a point to the emotions, where you do seem to have some sort of point to your emotional world and also your volitional world. You are sharing with us the process of life, the process of building things, the process of logistics, which is what trias do. And I can see that working with you and Saadet here. She would actually be your dual type in AP. So just your type backwards, you would have a very complementary attitude structure. So obviously you two are going to get along. I mean, not always. Some duals don't get along, but usually if they can get past that initial sparkiness towards one another, duals usually get along very well. So that makes total sense for me. I hope this reaches you well, and I hope you get something out of it. Thank you, Saadet, again for hosting and reading the questions to him. And thank you, Reggie, for sending in your video. I appreciate your business so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And yeah, feel free to email me your reaction to the results. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
this was
F
a
boys
plot
out here.
twist.
We're F boys. That's what that means.
This was a plot twist for sure. Okay, what do you think?
I mean, as long as I'm 1V, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. I think to be more serious, I think that the 3L, especially, I mean, we've been talking back and forth about intellectualism and stuff like that, like, you know, with your paper and stuff. That is it. I do think that's a sore spot. Like I was actually gonna like text you. I'm like, I wish you could find your intellectual equal because I feel like terrible. Like at this. I stopped myself, but I think that 3L is actually something I do want to work on. Interestingly, especially because of I'm not gonna mix OP. I know OP and AP are different, but I find it very interesting that I'm a thinker in OP, but I don't think that well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's really fucking weird. So
there are so many thinkers that are like 3L, 4L. Yeah, and I'm a feeler, and I'm a thinker in AP in a sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I'm a demon. I'm demon thinking, but when I think well.
Yeah, exactly. I think the other thing is, so I think physics. So okay, let me put it this way: process physics and process versus process emotion. Mm-hmm. I will say, just based on the limited, because I got the membership and stuff, so I watched the Taylor Swift video, and then I watched the I think Taylor Swift was a process. She was 2E.
Yes.
But one thing that he mentioned, I think, was that physics and emotions, or physics and a lot of other attitudes, can get confused with each other.
That's true.
Right. So for example, if I'm talking about how I feel, it's like, okay, how do you feel physically or how do you feel emotionally? It's
Emotionally.
it's a very nuanced difference, I suppose. And then I think also this might help explain my stances on like beauty, and I think my stances on my body. I have weird insecurities, which we could talk about, but I think it helps like confirm like there is things that I do like, and there are, like you said, there are opinions that I do have. I can't explain them logically, but it's
you're
like
aware in a way.
Yeah. I have to think about being others positive with physics. I'm not sure how I feel about that, really.
I think it's also I think the most interesting thing for me was 4E, that your results, like, the thing is, when I share like the 1E monologue, you just listen. So it is in a way, whereas like when I talk to other 2Es, they're like trying to process. I'm like, no, this is it. This was the end point. Whereas you just listen and you're like, okay. So but yeah.
I mean, I have like the words of Affy.
Yes.
So a lot of words of affirmation. I'm wondering if that's just pure like others positive. It's like, wow, you're so amazing, and like you're
might be. And also they're like almost like keywords, like, here, I hope you do great. Like it's just like when at the end of the email you just say it's like kind regards. That's like that a bit,
Yeah. And maybe it's results. I mean, because I've told you, it's like, when I send these words of affirmation to people, it's like I'm trying to get, like, I do think I'm trying to get a certain result. I want them to feel good. So I think it's like, it's not like I'm trying to process through. It's like, no, I want you to feel good. That's why I do things,
And I'm like, why are you sending this?
Yeah.
What's the point of this?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't care.
Oh my god. Okay, real quick. Do you want? I know you gotta. You're busy, but I wanted to quickly check the database to see who's like type twins.
Oh yeah. Okay. Your type is somewhat rare. Like, interesting.
Yeah. Now I can brag. I could be like, ooh. All right. Can you see this?
Yes, I can.
All right. Let's do it.
You can also go to subjective personality, to be honest.
Do you want me to do that instead?
No. Click here and then we can check there.
You
can just click there.
LE. No, I didn't know where it was.
Oh.
Azalea Banks. Gordon Ramsay. Wow. Ashi. I feel like I've heard of this person.
Yeah, singer.
Okay. So I don't know any of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Ramsay he's aggressive though.
Yes. Also, the others are also very aggressive.
Yeah, Donald Trump. Oh God, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about Donald Trump. Let's not talk about my voting patterns. Okay.
Nicole Kidman is not that aggressive.
But she got an intensity to her.
Yeah.
This guy who's smashing Sabrina well, no, they broke up. Sabrina Carpenter.
Smash, probably. You would. Okay.
Whatever. All right, and then you said what was it? Subjective personality, right?
Yeah. But it should have like, okay, click.
All right, let me allow this. I can just search it, right?
Yeah. VFLE. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
But
Andrew ugh. Alan Rickman, okay. Chris Hemsworth, yeah. I don't know who the hell this is.
Oh, she's a singer.
Franklin Roosevelt, Heidi Klum. Is she a model? Jocko Willink, okay. This actually explains because remember, I used to have like this obsessive
leadership
ownership. Remember?
Yeah.
It's like everything is my fault. Everything emotionally is my responsibility for other people. I think that might be 4E a little bit.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's like you're taking responsibility for the results of others' emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Julius Caesar,
Monday.
I'm gonna conquer some shit. Nelson Mandela, now we're talking.
Yeah, I think you see the archetype, like go-getter, like get off my way.
Yeah, it's like shut the hell up unless you talking about some chili, bruh. Get your chili up, bruh. Nice. Okay.
Do you want to also see my type? The thing is, we are exact opposites in. Yeah.
Explains a lot.
Yeah. Right, and these are all the soft boys. They're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll. I feel like they'll take a knife to you though.
These are like more artsy, like Prince, Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah. Nadal.
And who's this woman? Whitney
Cummins.
Yeah, and also Salvador Dali. The thing is, I think Salvador Dali is also my trifix in
oh really?
Enneagram. Yeah,
he's an artist, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think ENTP or
Shakespeare. Okay.
Yep.
Smart
also,
boys. Smart
boys. One more.
Yes.
Was it? There was one more. That was. Oh, Rousseau. Rousseau is also Jean-Jacques Rousseau.
You do not remind me of Rousseau, though. Rousseau, I mean, because Rousseau, his whole idea was like, wasn't he the guy who was saying like human nature is fundamentally good? You're like the opposite of that. But yeah. Oh, are you still looking it up or no?
No, I'm just. There's okay. The thing is, attitudinal psyche and psychosophy are different things. But sometimes you can see in psychosophy, like you can write it in Google and like get more types. Like, but
yeah,
maybe Rob doesn't agree with that typing stuff.
Okay.
There's a whole book. I can send you the book.
Okay, well, we can read it.
And you can read yours. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
I don't know why I didn't think of sending you the book. Okay.
So was there anything else, or because I feel like from a reaction standpoint, I don't think there's anything else.
No, I'm gonna react more throughout the night.
Okay.
I feel like. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, it's good to see you. I guess thanks Rob for typing us and all that. Or typing me.
Typing. That I did it. No, you did it.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks Sadet for kind of helping through the process with the interviews and everything like that. And honestly, I think probably I'll make at least another video or two about this once there's a little bit more thought behind it. You know. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Take care.
Ciao.